Have you ever contemplated why anything exists at all, or what it means to be conscious? These are the two great mysteries that have puzzled philosophers, scientists, and curious minds alike for centuries. Existence and consciousness, two seemingly separate entities, yet intricately intertwined in a dance that defines our reality. The mystery of existence concerns the origin and cause of the universe. Where did it all come from? What sparked the Big Bang? And if we dare to venture further back, what came before that? This leads us to the problem of infinite regress, a philosophical conundrum that leaves us dizzy with questions that seem to have no answers. Quantum physics offers a twist to this tale. It speaks of a primordial situation, a state of existence before time itself, where quantum fluctuations could have given birth to our universe. It's a realm where the usual laws of physics seem to take a back seat, opening up alternative viewpoints on the origin of the universe. Stephen Hawking, one of the greatest minds of our time, proposed that time began with the Big Bang, and that asking what came before it is essentially meaningless. His work on the quantum origins of the universe continues to be a beacon of light in the darkness of our understanding. On the other hand, we have consciousness, an entity so fundamental to our reality, yet so elusive. The limitations of materialism in explaining consciousness have led to a resurgence of the idea that consciousness may be fundamental to reality. This echoes the thoughts of German idealists like Schelling, Fichte, and Hegel, who proposed the self-grounding nature of consciousness. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of existence and consciousness, we encounter the intriguing world of quantum physics and its implications on consciousness. The role of observation in quantum mechanics, the connection between consciousness and quantum measurement, and the intrinsic nature of reality all come into play. As we continue this exploration, we find ourselves at the intersection of future origins, the self-creating universe, fine-tuning of existence, and the value of consciousness. Embark on this journey to explore the profound mysteries of existence and consciousness. The universe, vast and infinite, but where did it all come from? This is the enigma of existence, a question that's been gnawing at our human curiosity for millennia. And while we may not have all the answers, we certainly have some compelling theories. Let's start with the origin and cause of the universe. Traditionally, we might think of this as a chain of events leading back to some initial cause. But this approach runs into a problem known as infinite regress. If every event has a cause, and that cause itself has a cause, and so on, we're left with an infinite chain of causes stretching back forever. It's enough to make your head spin. But what if the universe didn't have a cause in the traditional sense? Enter quantum physics and the primordial situation. Quantum physics, with its mind-bending principles, offers a different perspective. It suggests that the universe could have arisen spontaneously from nothing, through quantum fluctuations. Imagine a sea of energy continuously bubbling with particles popping in and out of existence. It's a bit like a cosmic lottery, and in this case, our universe hit the jackpot. Now, this isn't the only viewpoint. Some propose that our universe is just one in an infinite multiverse, each with different physical laws. Others suggest that the universe cyclically expands and contracts over infinite time. But within the scientific community, there's a general consensus that quantum physics plays a crucial role. One of the most influential voices in this realm was the late physicist Stephen Hawking. He argued that the concept of time itself began with the Big Bang, meaning there was no before for anything to come from. It's a bit like asking what's north of the North Pole. The question itself becomes meaningless. Hawking worked extensively on the quantum origins of the universe. He proposed that the universe could have originated from a singularity, a point of infinite density and zero size, governed by the laws of quantum mechanics. In this scenario, the universe doesn't need a cause or something to come from. It simply is. But this raises a new question. If time began with the Big Bang, what does that mean for our understanding of existence? It suggests that existence is fundamentally bound up with the universe and its history. We can't separate the two. The universe didn't come into existence. It and existence itself began together. So, if time began with the Big Bang, what does that mean for our understanding of existence? It's a provocative question, one that stretches our minds and challenges our intuition. But it's these kinds of questions that drive us forward in our quest to understand the enigma of existence. What if consciousness isn't a product of the brain, but rather fundamental to reality? This is a question that has been stirring the minds of philosophers and scientists alike. The conventional view of materialism, which asserts that the universe is fundamentally composed of matter, and that consciousness arises from complex arrangements of this matter, seems increasingly unable to explain certain phenomena of consciousness. This has led to the resurgence of an age-old idea that consciousness may be fundamental to reality. This is not a new idea, but one that dates back to the era of German idealism in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Philosophers such as Schelling, Fichte, and Hegel proposed the self-grounding nature of consciousness, suggesting that consciousness is not derived from anything else, but is the ground of all being. Schelling, for example, argued that the universe is a manifestation of a universal mind or absolute spirit. Similarly, Fichte proposed that the self is the ultimate reality, and all objects of experience are its manifestations. Hegel, on the other hand, developed a comprehensive system of absolute idealism, where the absolute spirit or consciousness is the ultimate truth. These ideas, though radical at the time, had a profound influence on subsequent thinkers, shaping the philosophical landscape for centuries to come. Fast forward to today, and we find contemporary philosophers and scientists revisiting these ideas. In the words of physicist Sir Roger Penrose, consciousness is a part of our universe, so any physical theory which makes no proper place for it falls fundamentally short of providing a genuine description of the world. Similarly, philosopher David Chalmers has argued that consciousness is a fundamental aspect of reality, just as space and time are. However, not everyone agrees. There are those who remain skeptical, asserting that consciousness is a byproduct of physical processes and nothing more. They argue that attributing a fundamental status to consciousness is a step too far, a leap into the realm of metaphysics that science should avoid. Yet as the limitations of materialism become increasingly apparent, the fundamentality of consciousness is gaining traction. So, what does this mean for our understanding of reality? If consciousness is indeed fundamental, then it means that our current scientific paradigm needs a radical revision. It means that consciousness is not something that arises in the brain, but is a basic feature of the universe, present even at the level of particles. It means that the universe is not a collection of inert matter, but a living, conscious entity. This perspective opens up new ways of understanding the mysteries of existence. It suggests that the universe is not a random mechanical system, but a conscious, self-organizing entity. It implies that the universe has a purpose, a direction, a sense of meaning. It hints at a universe that is not indifferent to our existence, but is intimately connected with us, with our thoughts, feelings, and experiences. So, could consciousness truly be the ground of all being? The answer to this question is still far from settled. But as we delve deeper into the mysteries of existence and consciousness, we find ourselves confronted with a profound realization that we are not separate observers of the universe, but integral parts of it. That our consciousness is not an isolated phenomenon, but a fundamental aspect of reality. And that the universe, in all its vastness and complexity, is not an external entity, but a reflection of our own consciousness. In the quantum world, the act of observation changes reality. But what role does consciousness play in this? Quantum physics, the study of the smallest particles in the universe, has unveiled a world that is radically different from our everyday experience. Particles can be in multiple places at once, they can tunnel through barriers, and their properties remain undefined until measured, a process known as wave function collapse. Imagine tossing a coin. In our everyday world, the coin will either be heads or tails, but in the quantum world, prior to observation, the coin is both heads and tails at the same time. It's only when we look at it, when we observe it, that the coin decides to be either heads or tails. This is the essence of wave function collapse. However, interpretation of quantum mechanics, known as the Copenhagen interpretation, is not the only one. Some physicists propose that every possible outcome of an event actually happens, but in a different universe. This is the many worlds interpretation, yet regardless of the interpretation, the role of observation remains critical in defining reality. Now the arises. What role does consciousness play in this act of observation? Can consciousness itself be the observer that causes wave function collapse? This idea, although controversial, has been entertained by some of the greatest minds in physics. Notable physicists like Eugene Wigner and John Wheeler have suggested that consciousness may play a fundamental role in quantum mechanics. Wigner proposed that the consciousness of an observer is essential for the measurement process, while Wheeler suggested that we live in a participatory universe, where observer participants are required to bring the universe into existence. However, bringing consciousness into the discussion of quantum mechanics is often seen as taboo, as it crosses the boundary between physical science and philosophy. But it does offer a causal opening for consciousness, a way for consciousness to have a tangible, although not yet fully understood, impact on physical reality. Yet we also acknowledge the limitations of physical laws. Despite their power and precision, they tell us nothing about the intrinsic nature of reality. Physics can describe how particles move and interact, but it is silent on what those particles are in themselves. This is where consciousness, as a fundamental aspect of reality, may come into play. The philosopher David Chalmers has proposed that consciousness may be a new kind of fundamental entity, similar to space, time, and matter. He suggests that just as we have physical laws that describe how matter behaves, we may also need psychophysical laws that describe how consciousness interacts with matter. This perspective also resonates with the views of the physicist Sir Roger Penrose, who proposes that consciousness is not just a byproduct of complex computation in the brain, but a fundamental feature of the universe. He suggests that quantum physics may hold the key to understanding consciousness, and vice versa. In the words of the physicist Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as a derivative from consciousness. We cannot get behind consciousness. Everything that we talk about, everything that we regard as existing, postulates consciousness. This is not to say that consciousness is the only reality, or that everything is just a product of our minds. Rather, it suggests that consciousness is a fundamental aspect of reality, just as matter and energy are. And just as quantum physics has revolutionized our understanding of matter and energy, it may also revolutionize our understanding of consciousness. This brings us to a tantalizing possibility. Could consciousness be shaping the universe itself? What if the future is not just determined by the past, but also influences it in some way? This might sound like a plot from a science fiction novel, but it is an idea that some physicists and philosophers have seriously considered. Let's start with the ideas of John Archibald Wheeler, a renowned theoretical physicist, and Paul Davies, a physicist and author known for his work in theoretical physics and cosmology. Wheeler proposed a participatory universe where observers are required to bring the universe into existence. This idea suggests that we're not passive bystanders in the cosmos, but active participants shaping reality. Davies took this idea a step further and proposed that the universe might be self-creating. He suggested that the laws of physics might not be immutable, eternal truths, but rather evolving rules that emerge as the universe unfolds. In this view, the universe isn't a static, unchanging entity, but a dynamic, evolving system. What's fascinating is that these ideas don't just challenge our understanding of the universe, but also our understanding of time. We usually think of time as linear, flowing from the past to the future. But in a self-creating universe, the future could potentially influence the past. This doesn't mean that future events cause past events in a straightforward causal way, but rather that the past, present, and future might be interconnected in a more complex, non-linear fashion. Now let's consider the role of consciousness in all of this. Some theorists suggest that consciousness might not be a latecomer in the evolutionary history of the universe, but a fundamental aspect of reality. If this is the case, then consciousness could potentially play a role in the universe's self-creation. Imagine for a moment an evolving universe where consciousness plays a role in shaping the laws of physics. In such a universe, the evolution of consciousness could influence the evolution of physical laws and vice versa. This is a radical idea, and it certainly isn't the mainstream view in physics, but it's an idea that's worth considering, as it could potentially lead to new insights about the nature of reality. Of course, this idea raises a host of questions. How exactly would consciousness influence the laws of physics? What mechanisms would be involved, and what would this mean for our understanding of free will and agency? These are complex questions that we don't have clear answers to yet, but by asking these questions, We're pushing the boundaries of our understanding and opening up new avenues for exploration. It's worth noting that these ideas aren't just theoretical musings. They have practical implications too. For example, if consciousness plays a role in shaping the universe, then our decisions and actions might have a broader impact than we usually think. This could potentially change how we view our place in the cosmos and our responsibilities as conscious beings. In conclusion, the idea of a self-creating universe where consciousness plays a role is a fascinating and provocative concept. This idea challenges our conventional understanding of time, causality, and the nature of reality. It invites us to think about the universe in new, creative ways and opens up exciting possibilities for future research. So let's keep exploring, questioning, and pushing the boundaries of our understanding. After all, as the philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once said, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. And who knows, maybe in the process of living forwards, we're also shaping the universe in ways we can't even imagine yet. This concept of a self-creating universe challenges our conventional understanding of time and causality. Why does the universe appear to be so finely tuned for life and consciousness? This question has puzzled scientists and philosophers for centuries. The universe seems to be designed with an uncanny precision, which allows for the existence of complex structures, life and consciousness. This is what we call the fine-tuning of the universe. First, let's delve into the illusion of perceiving causes in nature. The 18th century philosopher David Hume pointed out this illusion. He argued that we don't actually perceive causes, but only regularities. We see the sun rise every day, so we assume it will rise tomorrow. But we don't directly observe a cause-effect relationship. This insight challenges our fundamental understanding of the universe and leads us to question our perception of reality. Now consider the possibility that value might be the animating force of existence. Philosopher Philip Goff proposes this intriguing perspective. According to Goff, the universe may not be a value-neutral playground of particles in motion as traditionally believed. Instead, it may be imbued with value at its most fundamental level. This value could be a force that shapes the evolution of the universe, driving it towards complexity, life, and consciousness. This perspective flips our traditional understanding of the universe on its head, transforming it from a cold, indifferent cosmos to a value-driven reality. This brings us to the fine-tuning of the universe. The laws of physics, the constants of nature, the initial conditions of the universe, all seem to be finely tuned to allow for the existence of life and consciousness. If any of these parameters were slightly different, life as we know it could not exist. For example, if gravity was slightly stronger or weaker, stars could not form, and without stars there would be no planets or life. This apparent specialness of the universe is truly mind-boggling. Some argue that it's just a coincidence. Others propose the multiverse hypothesis, suggesting that there are countless other universes with different laws and constants, and we just happen to live in one that allows for life and consciousness. However, this hypothesis has its critiques. The multiverse is, by definition, unobservable, which makes it difficult to test scientifically. And even if it exists, it doesn't explain why there is something rather than nothing. Throughout history, many great thinkers have pondered the relationship between value and existence. Plato believed that the universe is imbued with value and purpose, a view that resonates with Goff's perspective. In the 20th century, philosopher Alfred North Whitehead proposed a process philosophy, suggesting that reality is composed of events or processes rather than static objects, and these processes are driven by the pursuit of value. These perspectives challenge the conventional scientific worldview, proposing a universe that is not only finely tuned for life and consciousness, but is also driven by value. They invite us to reconsider our place in the universe and rethink our understanding of existence itself. Could it be that existence itself is driven by some form of intrinsic value or purpose? As we continue to explore the mysteries of existence and consciousness, this question remains open. We don't have definitive answers yet, but that's what makes the journey so exciting. So let's keep exploring, questioning, and contemplating the mysteries of the universe. It's a journey that enriches our understanding of reality and our place within it. These ideas, if true, could have profound implications for our understanding of reality, free will, and the self. Just imagine, if consciousness is indeed fundamental, it could mean our reality is not just a passive stage on which we perform, but an active participant in our existence. It's a shift from seeing ourselves as mere products of the universe to recognizing our role in its very unfolding. In terms of free will, it could be that our choices aren't predetermined by the laws of physics, but instead our conscious decisions could be influencing the state of the universe at the quantum level. It's a perspective that revives the idea of true freedom, placing us as the authors of our own destinies. And then there's the self. If consciousness is fundamental, it could suggest that our personal experience, our self, is not just an illusion created by complex brain processes. Rather, it's a fundamental aspect of the universe, a unique perspective through which the universe experiences itself. But of course, these are just implications, fascinating possibilities that give us a glimpse into the potential future directions of this exploration. There's still so much to probe and understand. On the experimental front, we could devise tests to explore the role of consciousness in quantum mechanics. Can consciousness really cause a wave function collapse? Or is there another explanation? These are questions that can only be answered through meticulous and rigorous scientific investigation. Theoretically, we could delve into the connection between value and existence. If indeed the universe is fine-tuned for life and consciousness, could it be that there's an intrinsic value in existence? Could this value be the driving force behind the unfolding of the universe? Again, these are ideas that need to be explored, analyzed, and debated. There's a vast landscape of possibilities that lay before us, a frontier of knowledge waiting to be explored. This exploration won't be easy, but it's a challenge we must embrace. It's an exciting time to be alive as we continue to probe the mysteries of existence and consciousness. So, we've journeyed through the mysteries of existence and consciousness, but where does this leave us? We've delved into the enigma of our universe's origin, the profound puzzle of consciousness, and the intriguing connection between the two through the lens of quantum physics. We've considered the possibility of the universe being self-creating and the potential role of evolving consciousness in shaping it. We've also pondered on the idea of existence, value, and fine-tuning of the universe for life and consciousness. These explorations not only challenge our understanding of reality, but also inspire awe at the intricacies of our existence. The profound significance of these mysteries lies in their capacity to reshape our worldview and to enrich our sense of purpose and place within the cosmos. So let's continue contemplating these questions, pushing the boundaries of our understanding. Thank you for joining this exploration. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to continue this journey of discovery together.